Hey Jameson, how you doing?
Really good, man.
But it sounds like we're talking quietly.
Oh shit! All right, you ready to knock into this thing?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Jameson on the Rocks podcast. Today I have with me Mr. Sam Groveman. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, man?
It's great to see you again. It's been too long.
Yeah.
I can't even remember when the last time I saw you was. I feel like maybe it was Big Chungus at 40 Watt Club.
Yep. No, I feel like it was at the Georgia Theater.
Ooh, you're probably right.
You were working there.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I remember that. That was a fun
Yeah.
night. You guys played great that night.
I was either playing with the Orange Constant or I think it might have been with Big Chungus opening up for
Ooh, that's true.
Underground Springhouse.
That's true. That was a great show. We're gonna talk about all these, man. We better not jump the gun here.
Yeah.
All right, give me a little brief intro. You're the premier drummer in Athens, Georgia. Give me a little intro on how you got drumming, how you got started playing, some influences, all that good stuff.
Sure. That is a long one.
That's a lot. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm excited.
I mean, I could take it pretty far back to, when I was a kid, my parents wanted me to play an instrument, and they had me take piano lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. I was like, I don't want to play an instrument. And then I remember in 4th grade, you had to play an instrument. You know, you were either in orchestra, chorus, or band. And I was like, I do not want to play an instrument. And they put me in chorus. And then in 5th grade, everybody was playing Guitar Hero. And that was like, for some reason, it was cool to play Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And Guitar Hero 3 came out, and I was like, I want to play that. It looks fun. And I guess I thought it was cool. So then I got it, and then I got obsessed with it. And I would play it every day, and I got pretty good at it and was like playing an expert within a year or two. And I got all the games. And then I was like, honestly, I want to play an instrument now. And so that was a big influence on me. And my cousin Amy, up in Long Island, New York, I remember I went over to my Aunt Lisa's house, and she had a drum set upstairs, and I would play Rock Band Beatles, and I'd play the beat, and I'd like play it on the Rock Band drum kit, and then I'd go upstairs and figure it out on her kit. And
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So was it straight from the start, just like drums, or it took you a minute to get there, right? You went guitar first.
I was debating between guitar and drums, and I actually think that was a big part of it. And then also, I remember hearing this, because I listened to a lot of hip hop when I was in middle school, and I remember hearing this Blink-182 song. It was First Date.
Good song
on the game, and I was like, "This band is cool," and I literally became obsessed with them. And then I went up to my sister, and I was like, "Do you know this band?" And she was like, "Yeah, of course." She's like, "You need to check out their drummer. He's amazing, Travis Barker." And then I just became obsessed with Travis Barker. Like, I got his drumsticks. I had a Blink-182 shirt. And then I was like, okay, I want to play drums. There's that. And
that's interesting. I feel like he's really been Travis has really been pretty beneficial to our generation drum wise. He's insane, isn't he?
Yeah.
Still is, man. I love listening to him. He's top 3 for me. I don't know who your favorites are, but we'll get to that. That's awesome though. So First Date got you playing drums.
Yep, and I used to just play to Blink-182 albums.
Hell yeah,
all the time. Obviously, probably wrong, because I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah. Then you start taking lessons at some point.
Yeah, I started taking lessons in middle school also. With a guy named Jeff Macko. Yeah,
Never heard of him. No, should I have?
I don't think so. I do remember one time he said to me, he's like, yeah, I've never had a drum student pursue drumming as a career. And we kind of stopped talking. So if you ever hear this, thanks, Jeff. I'm doing that.
Appreciate that. Yeah, he probably wants to know this. He'd probably be ecstatic. You need to find him, track him down, and send this to him.
Yeah, he's somewhere in Atlanta.
That's awesome, man. Well, all right. So say you play drums for a while, then eventually, I assume you get to some band action, or how long does it take?
I wanted to play in a band since I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And I jammed a few people. It never really worked out. And then,
as they do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then my friend Ivan Bacariso, he's actually goes to UJ right now. He's a trombonist. At the time, he was playing keys and singing, and they needed a drummer for a Beatles cover band.
Really?
Yeah, and I was in the drum line, and he was like, "We should hit up my friend Sam." I've known him since I was 8 years old. And I got a message on Facebook, and they actually didn't want me in the band at first because Well, I'm not gonna actually say why.
You can leave it up there.
Yeah.
To be decided upon why.
Yeah. Nothing bad. They just thought they thought I was a stoner.
Yeah.
So that's really it.
They thought
And but then we ended up hanging out, and we were all cool, and yeah. So we played, and then we all just became best buds, and started a band, and we started making original music. And then me and Miguel Cerna. I actually just saw him a couple of days ago. We did a jiu-jitsu class together. He was like, we both still wanted to play music because that band broke up. So we started a band called Canvas, and it was a like post-rock band.
Interesting.
And it was so much fun. So I did that until my freshman year of college, and then I moved to Athens.
Are you playing a lot of gigs with that band, or are you just like playing around
We were
town?
playing a lot of gigs. Yeah, that was like my first gigs that I played, actually. I mean, my first gig was at a place called Swayze's. It was an empty room. I think Magician opened up for us. So
interesting.
But he was good. He was good.
Good magician?
Yeah, he was a good magician.
You got a name drop on him?
No, I do not, but he was good. We played some weird gigs. That's high school gigs for you, man. High school gigs are different.
John was telling me about this. He said he played the Macy's department store, John Cherry.
Really?
I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great. So, yeah, anyway, so that moves you along. Then you moved to Athens from Atlanta, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. So you moved to Athens. You're like, all right, I'm here at the music mecca. What'd you do then? Did you instantly find a band, or you float around for a while, or what's happening?
I actually quit drums for a few months. Yeah.
Wow. Hung it up?
Well, you see, when I was in high school, all I wanted to do was play drums and be in a band. And I remember, like, I didn't focus in school. Like, I didn't care about school. And it was my senior year, and I had this meeting with my parents and my counselors, and I think one of the assistant principals was there, and they're like, what are you doing next year? And I'm like, they're like, you haven't taken your SATs, you've got a really low GPA, and and I was like, I just want to play drums and play with my band and go on tour.
Heard that.
And they were like, you can't do that.
No, they did it.
Yeah, they're like, you're gonna fail. Like, I remember my counselor, she was like, I used to be a manager for a band, and they failed. Like, it's the odds are 1 in a million, and you need to go to school and get a degree. And I was like, at the moment, I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And my friend told me about Athens and how it's a good music scene. So I started taking school pretty seriously when I got here. And then I didn't have a place to practice, so that's why I kind of stopped drumming. And I remember I got a Martin guitar, and then started playing more guitar because my neighbors would complain even about the drum pad.
Really?
Yeah, so I stopped drumming for like 3 months.
That is the bummer with the drums. I guess it's so loud. You have to really have a good place to practice, right?
Yeah.
Something that other musicians don't really have to deal with. I guess like guitars, you just unplug it or whatever. Keep it down low.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, the good news is you proved them wrong because you're a fucking touring musician, my friend.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Feel pretty good?
That's cool. I think it's good that I went to college for a little bit, and so I think everything falls into place. But
so.
I called my brother one time, or we were talking on the phone. He's like, "How's drumming going?" I was like, "Oh, stop." He's like, "What?
How dare you?"
So I got better at guitar around that time, and then I was at Nucci Space, and there's a guy named Gene. I think he still works there, if I'm not mistaken, but he's a good dude. I saw
Older
him.
fella, shorter guy?
Yep.
I feel like he does still work there. Yeah.
Yeah, really good dude. And we were just chatting, and I was like, yeah, I play drums. I don't have a place to play, though. He's like, Nucci Space. I was like, oh. So then I started going to Nucci Space because, if y'all don't know, Nucci Space is a place in Athens that you can rent out rooms and rehearse with bands, and it's also a lot more than that. They have
whole mission statement and everything.
Exactly.
They help people out. Great place, just fantastic.
Yeah, so I would just go there every day and practice and kind of continue drumming.
Just by yourself in there a lot of days?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
interesting.
And then
just renting rooms out and hanging out.
Yeah, and then eventually I transferred to UGA, and that was about it.
Where'd you go to school originally? UNG?
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's a good method. That's pretty much what I did. I did Athens Tech, though. That's the way to do it, man. You slide in there with them bad high school grades. I had them, too. You know what I mean? You slide right over to UGA.
Exactly.
And when you went to UGA, did you, was it like a culture shock for you? Were you like, oh, here's a bunch of musicians now? Or did you do music business or take any classes like that or anything?
No, I didn't take music business actually.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I thought you were a music business guy.
Mm-mm.
Interesting. So how does this get you to what would be your first band in Athens? Do you recall?
I was really just playing gigs with Jeffrey Vernon for a while.
Goat, legend.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I saw him last night. I played with Aspen Ananda last night, and he came out to the
I
show.
meant to mention this. How was that?
Dude, it was awesome.
Really?
It was so much fun. I love playing with Aspen.
It looked like such a great crowd, man.
Yeah.
And Eddie's Attic's just cool. I've never been there.
Me neither. That was my first time up
Really?
in Decatur. Yeah, it was cool.
Wow, everything went great, smoothly.
Dude, it was so much fun. I mean, I just couldn't take a smile off my face.
Really?
Man. Yeah,
That's awesome. Those are the best gigs.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about her too is that I really enjoy her music too, and she's also
Me
just
as well.
a cool person. You know,
So
like
cool. So cool.
and really easygoing. Some people are very particular about drums, which I totally understand. You know, they're like, I want the beat like this.
Yeah.
And they're like, what did you do right there? You know, like before we went on last night, I go up to ask her, I'm like, hey, what do you think about just like instead doing this during the song? She's like, yeah, let's do it. Like she's very easygoing.
She's so laid back.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice young lady. I'm
Yeah.
a very big fan. I was bummed I couldn't make it last night. I just got back from Hilton Head yesterday, so I texted her. I was like, man, I'm really bummed I can't make it. But what a great lineup, great band.
Yeah.
You, Kelly, the guy on the sax, I can't think of his name.
Jacob Savaji.
Jacobs, yes, he's also a Chungus man, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's just a quality lineup. I'm sure it was fantastic.
Good friend of mine, man. Jacob's a good dude.
He seems to be an incredible sax player too.
He is
dude.
an
Seems
incredible
so
sax
good.
player. He's so much fun to play with and jam with.
Yeah. How long did you guys play for?
We played. It felt like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Nice.
I actually don't remember.
That's awesome. How'd you like Eddie's Attic? I've never been there.
Really cool spot.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's kind of like acoustic he plays, right? Like, isn't it like the singer?
Yeah.
Like John Mayer used to play there and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep. I had the full kit though there.
Yeah. you
Even
pulled it out.
SPD pad, doing some snaps.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Aspen-
have to get into that.
Aspen loves the snaps, and I like them too. I
It's
think
one of
they
those
fit.
black pads, like the
Yep.
6 pad. Those are cool. We need to talk about that because I think that stuff's interesting. And
Yeah.
we'll get there. All right. All right. So that's a big rundown. Everybody go check out Aspen Ananda if you get a chance. She's fantastic.
Just released a new EP.
She did, and it's great. I love it.
I play drums on every song I think except for Success.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Good for you. That's great. Sounds great, dude.
Thanks.
I noticed the audio quality is top tier. Like she's really
Well,
came
she
into her own.
recorded with Tommy.
Oh, of course. Sounds great. I like oh man. What's the one I like? Maybe it's Closure. Did you play on Closure?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. That's fun. Anyways, moving along. Any other bands that you'd like to note between here and the Orange Constant? The Orange Constant's your main gig, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So what else? Anybody else you're playing with other than Jeffrey?
At the moment,
No. Like before Orange Constant, we're still on the timeline. We're getting there. You know what I mean? When does the Orange Constant become a thing with you?
that kind of happened when I was a sophomore in college. So I had a couple jobs when I was in college, and I remember I was working at Smoothie King one time at one point, and kind of left Smoothie King, and I was like, man, it would be really cool to just make money playing music while I'm in college. You know, I remember
So cool.
I remember one of my teachers talking about how he did that, and I was like, that would be fun.
It'd be
Like,
awesome.
you know, I like smoothies, but that would be cool too. And so basically, I went on Craigslist because when I first moved to Athens and I really wanted to be in a band, I would check Craigslist every day looking for a band, and then never found anything. And then I think actually I met up with a few people, but
Yeah.
nothing that I really wanted. And then I saw this ad, and it was like looking for a serious drummer. We play over 100 shows a year and tour and
Damn.
whatnot. And I was like, oh, I can't do that, but let's jam and see how this goes. So then I basically sent them an email, and then I talked to Andrew on the phone for a little bit, listened to their music, and then went over and played with Tyler and Andrew Brantley. We just jammed, and I remember it being a good jam. Like we jammed for like 20 minutes, and then basically after that, Nicholas joined, and I jammed with Nicholas.
Nick, I like Nick. He's
yeah.
a nice guy. I was a little bit bummed when we were going to do when you were going to come in, but you couldn't make it that time.
Yeah, I'm
with
sorry
him.
about that.
No, it's okay. No, I was just like, man, I can't wait to get Sam. But then you texted me. I was like, yes, we could still get Sam on here. But I was pleasantly surprised. Nick's a very smart guy. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Super sweet guy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. Yes.
He is a wise guy. I mean,
So at this point, they didn't have a drummer. I guess they had a drummer before you?
they
played-
did.
Yeah.
They did, but he ended up leaving, and they tried out some drummers, and yeah. So then I jammed with Chris was the final step of like approval, I guess. So it was finally like Nick had jammed with me, Tyler had jammed with me, and Andrew, and then they added Chris, and then
Gotcha. That was the lineup. The lineup was complete.
And
When is this? This is what, 2018?
2017. I was 19 at the time. So I was a lot younger than them too, so that was a big deal, and how I was in school. And Chris, I always joke with Chris about this if he listens to this, but like he had a very serious look, and I think he wasn't so sure about it because, you know, I was in college and whatnot, which I totally understand. And you know, I met him. He was like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" And then I sent him the kit, and I just remember I think we were playing The Fountain, or maybe we were playing Emily, and I start playing, and then he looks up with me with the keys, because he used to play in front of me in that band house, and he had this smile on his face. He's like, and then
the seal of approval, right? Yeah, there, right.
Yeah, and I remember us going outside, and if it wasn't this rehearsal or the next one, he was like, "Yeah, you know, I think the band's gonna have you join." And Andrew used to talk to me about that, and he's like, "I just want you to know, man, like what you get into, like being in a band and touring is hard. You know, it's not that easy. You know,
he broke it down for you.
I know it looks really cool." I was like, "It's cool though."
Super cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. You have a pretty good memory on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was kind of like all of them were in different ways, but he was like kind of like a mentor to me at that time. You know, and we lived with each other the next year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I bet say like just from an onlooker's perspective, I figured you guys just knew each other your whole life. You look like just best friends out there, man. It just seems like you guys kind of look alike sometimes too. Like you just like all have the similar brand going on. Very nice.
Oh, dude, we
Is
always
that purposeful.
No, we are just like all boring dudes when it comes to dressing up. Like we always have this problem of like three of us wearing 3-button shirts.
Yeah. The flannel.
Yeah. Like we don't, you know.
I love it. It's you guys. At least it's real. You know what I mean? It looks like you guys. That's awesome. Do you remember your first gig with them or anything? Any early gigs?
I do remember my first gig.
Did you guys practice for a while and get out there?
We practiced for a while. It was really interesting because it was opening up for CBDB.
Wow,
and
that's your first gig?
Yeah, and I saw them the day before. They had played with their drummer's last gig, the old drummer, Lee. It was at Livewire, and it was with CBDB too. So CBDB saw the transition of drummers. Like one night they played with the old drummer, and then my first gig was with them, and it was in Augusta. No, it wasn't Augusta, sorry. It was in Rome, Georgia.
Rome, okay.
Yeah.
What venue? Rome Brewing Company?
I don't know what it was.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Since then, you guys have played a shit ton of shows, haven't you?
Yeah.
You guys are a working band. I respect that. You guys go to Alabama. What's the farthest you guys have been? Do you know?
Either Colorado or Boston.
Wow, Colorado. Where did you play there?
We played a couple of shows in Denver and then Colorado Springs. That was a long one, man.
That's a damn drive, man.
Yeah, that was an interesting tour.
How do you like the road?
I love it.
Big fan, yeah.
I miss it. You know, I mean, like obviously right now we're just playing around the Southeast. I'll be in Nashville tomorrow.
Really, tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna head up there early and see my brother and my sister, and then Thursday I'm playing a show in Nashville, and then Friday I'll play Chattanooga, then Nashville on Saturday. So
all Orange Constant shows?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. What venues do you know? I'm just curious where you guys play.
It's Thursday, Yeehaw Brewing. And we've played a lot of places in Nashville. You know, we play like basement stuff, but it should be cool. It's a big outdoor stage. And Friday, I don't remember what it's called. I think Chattanooga Brewing Company. And then Saturday, we're playing. Honestly, I'd have to look. I'm the worst about that stuff.
You're on the road?
Yeah.
they're just shows to you, man. You just show up and play them.
A lot of times, man.
Oh, speaking of the basement, is the basement out of commission? I think it didn't it get tore down or something? That hurricane that hit, you remember that? A few months ago?
I think so. A tornado wrecked one of them.
I think that's very cool that you guys go play everywhere. I remember we talked about this at the theater one time. You guys were playing the theater, and you just got back from Alabama that day. Like just drove back from the booth. I think you played. How do you like the booth? Do you play there a lot?
Booth in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, in Tuscaloosa.
It's all right. It kind of reminds me of a frat house, but a bar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Have you guys done the fraternity circuit? I'm sure you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, we played a fraternity event this Friday, actually, or last Friday.
How did it go?
It was cool. The interesting thing about it was like hippie night or something.
Uh-huh.
So everybody had Grateful Dead shirts on, and we're like, oh, cool. Like, this is a heady crowd. Like, we can play like jam stuff and like, and then you start playing like popular jam songs and like no one recognizes it. And you're like, you're just all wearing this to be cool.
Yes.
Like,
Posers.
Great. I bet the Grateful Dead makes so much money off of merchandise for fraternities wearing their shirts.
That's hilarious.
It's really
man.
interesting to me, man. That's
you guys play a lot of like a diverse range of covers though. When every time I've seen you at the theater, it's been like all kind of shit, like rock songs, pop songs, like funky songs, like jam songs, all kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I think it's just we all come from different musical backgrounds, so yeah.
How does that work? Do you guys like you just picking like are you guys like how do you pick songs to play? You know what I mean? Like when you're doing like a fraternity gig per se. Do you guys like all just get together or?
We try and read the crowd and think about where we're playing a lot of times, but I would say I don't really write many set lists. I might write a set list Thursday just because it's my first time my brother is seeing us, so I might be like, hey guys, I want to write a set list. And they usually are pretty into it when I write a set list because I rarely write it. So I think when different people write set lists, it makes a more unique show sometimes.
I think so. Do you guys always stick to it, or are you like just mid-show like, oh, you know what we should hit him with right now? Let's do this.
Sometimes we definitely change up the set list. We're still trying to figure out no set list. Mm-hmm. We usually, for big shows, we play a set list. But sometimes you're like in an improv section and Tyler will start teasing like a song and you're like, oh yeah, and we all rock eyes. And so sometimes, you add different things, or we're like, let's add a dancey cover right now. Let's get people dancing, or a dancey song, that we have, because we have a lot more danceable songs. So it's really in the moment. Sometimes I would say most of the time we don't completely stick to the set list.
Interesting. I noticed that about you guys at the theater. I was just watching because I was working that night. I was like, man, these guys make a lot of eye contact. Like you guys are like always looking at each other, like kind of diagnosing things, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when I worked at the Georgia Theater and it would be like a fraternity gig and we'd all be like getting ready for it or whatever. We'd be like, oh man, I hope it's a good band tonight. And like a couple times it was you guys. I was like, oh, thank God, yes, it's gonna be a good night. Because you guys are just so much fun to watch, and like that's really all we have to do those nights. And you guys, let me think. You came out there and you sound checked, and then we were just like sitting around. You came out there and you were just beating the shit out of them drums right before you went on. You know what I mean? Nobody was there yet. They were about to open the doors. You just got up there and beat the shit out of him for like 30 seconds. I was like, damn, he can play.
Oh, thank you, man.
Very good stuff. How did you like? Is there like, are you learning off YouTube? Like, are you still like in the process of like learning rhythms and stuff? Is that the right way to put it? You get what I mean?
I think I'm always learning, and I always will be.
That's great.
Just like any musician should honestly be.
Working on the craft.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
And you seem to be really like technical. Like you can read music, can't you? Drums and whatnot.
Yeah.
Not a lot of drummers can really, it seems like, right? Would you say that's true?
Yeah. I tell all my students, I'm like, look, it's so much easier than all the other instruments.
Really?
Yeah. I could teach someone how to read drum music in an hour, I think. Like basic stuff. Yeah. I mean, obviously you're not going to learn how to play like rolls and stuff, but
masterpieces.
I mean, I was with my buddy at I think we were at a Taco Mac, and he knew how to play a little bit of drums, and I was like, well, this is here and this is here, and I wrote it on a napkin, and then next thing you know, he's reading the beat within like. Really? Now I'm not saying everybody learns that quick, but I think reading drums is easier than. Because you don't have than other instruments like piano or something. Because you don't have keys, you don't have. It's just this drum is here, the cymbal is here, and
interesting.
It's more rhythmic.
And you probably learned that from. You said you were in drumline, correct, in high school?
My teacher taught me before then, but yeah, I was in drumline.
Yeah. Did that help you any, or did it translate over? Or would you say
it definitely helped me with rudiments and like rolls and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I still love that stuff. I still look at it all the time. Like, look at some Blue Devils and Blue Coats, man.
You just learning all the time. I respect that. It seems like it.
I try to. And I still have teachers and stuff. And, that's the great thing about today, with social media, is like your favorite drummers, you can just message them on Instagram half the time and be like, hey, lesson? And they're like, sure. And,
really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never really thought about doing that. That's super interesting. That's very cool. So all of that, when did you start? I assume you said you joined in 2017. Mm-hmm. So what's the first Orange Concert record that you play on? Is it Peel?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I love the whole record. It's great, man.
First single was Prisoner.
Prisoner.
Yeah, it was an instrumental song. It's like
I
a
don't know
dance
if
tune.
I've seen that one. I'm gonna have to look back at that one. It was a single off Peel.
No, it was actually before. It was with John Keane. It's like a electronic kind of dance tune.
John Keane, the REM producer.
Yep.
I read about this in you guys' Spotify bio a few months ago, I think. And that was the only. Did he make Peel as well?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. How do you like working with him?
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, he's a legend, you know.
Yeah. Where do you guys record at again?
At his house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his
Wow.
studio. He lives under his studio. So upstairs is the studio, and then downstairs is where his
Priorities,
family lives.
man.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, and he's got a cool place.
That's awesome. Did you guys? How long did it take you to make the record? I love the record.
It was
great.
Took a long time.
Really? You
Yeah,
guys?
'cause,
Did
we were pretty busy touring, so we would record for a few days, and then a couple weeks later, a couple months later, we would record for a few days, and it was kind of that process. And we even just did that. We're recording a single with Tommy Trotwine right now. We're kind of still doing that same process of like every couple of days, you know, like
working on it when you can.
Yeah.
And did you do your drums to a click track, or you guys playing together?
I think most of them were to a click track.
And you lay drums down first, I guess, and then you guys build upon that?
Most of them were together, actually.
Really? Interesting. Very cool. Interesting. I think stuff like that's cool. Do you have a favorite song on the record? I'd be curious to hear this. Favorite drum segment or anything?
I think Reach is probably my favorite song. That's the first song that I wrote with the band. That's probably my favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
I like Reliance, too.
Oh, me too.
Reen Chronic, too. Reen Chronic's got fun drums, but I think song-wise, probably Reach.
Interesting. Very cool. I like Reliance. I like Far From Home. What You Asked For was the four I wrote down, and Go, of course, and Banana. I like all of them, dude. It sounds really consecutive. And the vinyl, dude, the vinyl came out great. You guys did a sick vinyl with the yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Cool cover, man. God,
Yeah.
It looks so sick. I hate I didn't get one.
Thanks, man.
But how did you guys do that? Didn't you do a limited run or something?
Yeah, it's through a company called Crates.
Crates
with a Q.
With a Q.
Yeah.
QRAT is?
ATES.
Great.
Yep.
It looks great, man. And I guess people pre-ordered them, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. See, I wanted to get one, but I was hurting for money at the time. I was like, man, I just can't. I can't right now, but I'll get one day.
I got two just in case. You know, I don't know. The house burns down.
Yeah.
Although if the house burns down, they'll probably get both. But I just wanted to get two.
That's respectable. Respectable. You gotta have backups. I love it, man. Did you have a favorite live one to play, or would it be the same as your favorite one?
I think one of my favorite ones is a song called From the Grave, which will probably never be recorded. I don't want to say never because you never know, but it's a song that we play, and it's like a funky tune, and it's just so much fun to play on the drums. And then I get a little solo at the end of it, and then after my solo, it always goes into improv. So that song is just like the big question mark for me. It's always like a big adventure.
Yeah.
So I always enjoy playing that one.
That's awesome. Let's get a live version of that thing going.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys have never dropped a live record. I'm surprised about that. You haven't,
We've been talking about it.
Oh man, you guys would make a great live record at the
Thank
theater
you.
or something.
Yeah.
live at the Georgia Theater or live at Warehouse or something. I don't know. It'd be cool, wouldn't it? You guys, are you into stuff like that? Live records and
Oh
stuff?
yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Me too. I really like watching band videos on YouTube and shit, like from the 80s and stuff and 70s, whatever. I think stuff like that's really appealing. But yeah, speaking of the Warehouse, how did you guys' Warehouse show go? Were you opening for somebody, or were you?
We were the headliner. It was just us. It was great, man. I mean, it felt good to be playing in Athens again.
Yeah, this was the first one back, correct?
Uh-huh.
And you guys played like a 2-hour set, or?
I think it was a 2-hour set.
Hell yeah, man. You guys played mostly covers or originals?
Mostly originals.
Oh, very cool.
We always throw in a few covers, but we try and make them our own, you know. I think
give them that spice.
Yeah, I think we'll always do that. We'll always have covers.
I think it's a nice moderation for anybody there who doesn't exactly know you. I think you might as well, you owe it to them to play one or two.
Even if they were coming to our show, you know, like Humphreys is a huge band. They still play covers, but they make their covers unique to them exactly. I think we'll always do that.
I respect that. What do you think about the Warehouse sound and everything, lights and everything, the whole experience? Because that was your first time playing there, right?
I remember there was one thing. I can't remember if it was like,
You're fine.
I can't remember what it was. I think maybe it was like one light that was just too much in my eyes. But I mean that happens, dude. You play shows and there's just like you're trying to communicate with the bassist and there's just like a big thing of smoke in front of your face and you're like, "Hey, all right, can you see me?"
Do you ever have any trouble hearing your bandmates? Because I know you guys are stuck there in the back sometimes. I mean, I guess you have a monitor, but have you ever had any trouble with that?
Not as much anymore with in-ear monitors.
Oh, you guys are running in-ears?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that. How do you like those?
Great. I used them last night with Aspen. I always use them
How
when I
hard is
can.
it to set it up?
Really easy. For me, at least. I mean,
so you've got your own set and you just give it to the sound guy or something? Give him the receiver?
he just gives me an XLR and then I've got a little box, put the XLR in, and then good to go.
That's awesome. Then you tweak it on there? How does the tweak, like, you know what I mean, what you're hearing?
So there's just a volume knob, and then I tell him I do mono with the in-ears, and then I just tell him what I want in my ears when he comes around, just like the monitor.
Wow, that's super appealing. I'm super interested in stuff like that because John Cherry was telling me that the AFTM's running this like a similar rig, you know, just in-ears. I was like, seems like all the pro guys are kind of switching over to that once the bigger they get, of course, because I guess the smaller venues, it's more trouble. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. I mean, you get to hear your drums too in your ears, which you would think like, why do you need to hear your drums? But it really does help with the in-ears, especially because they cancel a lot of noise.
Really? So it's kind of like earplugs too?
Oh yeah, they cancel. They're really good for protecting your ears too.
That's interesting. All right, let me make sure this camera's still going. I always like to check halfway through. Oh yeah, looking good.
Nice.
I've had a couple episodes where I went up and looked and it wasn't recording, so I was like, better keep checking for the sake of my guest.
Totally understand.
But yeah, it's going great, man. Orange Constant. So, do you have anything? Are you guys working on new music? Working on new show? Well, you said you got shows coming up. You guys working on new music, or are you gonna promote the record a little more?
We're recording a song right now. I'm not gonna say the name.
Big secret.
Yeah.
Now I want to know even more.
This is part of my marketing plan.
We're gonna drop a clip of this before it comes out. A little teaser.
Yeah. But so I recorded a song with Tommy, and I just, I actually saw Aspen record with him or played drums on her song, and I was like, this guy's good. So then I recorded my song with him, and then I told the band, I was like, we got to record with Tommy. Like, he's got magic coming out of this house. He's
really made a name for himself really quick with like just making every record in town. It seems like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
good for him.
I love a lot of the artists that are coming out too. So.
I thought you were referring to Runnin.
Yeah.
I thought you made that with Jeff though.
I made that. So I did a demo with Jeff, and then Jeff co-produced it at Tommy's.
Cool. Okay. Nice little duo there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about awesome. Jeff's studio. Have you been over there? Well, you've been over there to do the demo, right?
I go there all the time.
Oh man,
it's been a little bit. I've been pretty busy lately, but I'll be back.
I'm stoked to see what he does with that studio, man. Yeah. I feel like that could be a premier studio in town too. I'm excited about it. Because they got all the gear now. Have you been over there recently, dude? They got 2 tape machines and everything now.
I've seen the tape machines. He's been telling me I need to come in. I mean, he calls me like, me and Jeff actually FaceTime like almost every day.
Really?
Just like catch up. Especially, it really started during quarantine. Because like, I don't know.
BFF shit, bro.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Weren't you guys living together for a while?
No, we never lived together.
Interesting. That's hilarious, so man. Yeah. Well, your single sounds great, man. What made you want to do that? Were you just like, I'm writing songs, I want to get them out, or were you like, oh, I want to play shows solo, or what are you thinking here? It sounds great, man. I love it.
I don't think I wanted to play shows solo, and I don't know if I see myself doing that for a while. Well, actually, I'm playing a little festival with Jeffrey, so I'll play it then. But I don't know. I wrote songs, and I had a few people in the past couple of months who just who influenced me and were like, you should record a song.
Yeah.
And I kind of just was like, I was passionate about something, and then I was like, I need to record it now, and then just didn't even think about it. And I sent it to Tommy, and I was like, hey, Tommy, what do you think about this? He's like, come in. And then I was like, okay, let's record it as soon as we can, because it was really fresh on my mind, and then recorded the song, and that was about it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It came out really great. The acoustic guitar sounds good on it. Is there a tambourine on there, or is it a sample? What is it?
It's a tambourine, yeah.
Nice. Sounds good. Sounds very crisp. Like there's some sort of like, I couldn't figure out what it was. Is it like a synth sound or something, or like a
do-do-do-do.
Yeah,
it's a synth sound.
Is it? Okay. I wondered if it was like some sort of I don't know, flute or something for a second. I don't know, but it sounds great, man.
Thanks.
It's like kind of like a feel good song. It feels good when I listen to it.
Yeah.
Very like lean back, like just hanging out kind of thing.
Thanks.
Good sounding acoustic guitar. I didn't even know you played acoustic guitar or sing until it came out, or Jeff was telling me about it. And I was like, I didn't know he sings.
Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was really. I played it in high school a little bit, but then I started playing it more when I quit drums for that period, and then because acoustic's real quiet, and finger style, so I got better at finger picking. But yeah, it's I play drums. That's my passion, and that's how I make my living. But for me, guitar, I can, if I want to say something, I feel like, write lyrics or something, I do that more with guitar, and I think that's something I get out of it too. And there's also melodies. Whereas with drums, I don't want to just like and start singing like I don't know.
Don Henley.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds great, man. I'm glad. I hope you put some more stuff out. I mean, if you're writing them, you might as well.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of just like, I know like people love to write songs, and a lot of people hold on to them forever. Like just put them out. You know what I mean? It's 2021. You can record whatever and drop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We live in a great time, so that's fantastic.
Yeah. You could. I tell my friends because they're like, "How do you put a song out on Spotify?" I'm like, "Well, you could literally get a voice memo and then burp into it.
Yes.
And
twice.
then burp into it twice.
Not
and
once.
and then just upload it through DistroKid.
Yeah.
And then
Boom.
Bam, you're on
Boom.
Spotify.
That's it, man. That's crazy. Everybody thinks it's really hard, or people that don't do it,
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. You're on Spotify. Like, you could be too.
Yeah. It's very easy.
It's very cool, man. It's a good time to live in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you have any plans for any other singles. Maybe.
Not at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a singer-song like.
Yeah. Well, yes, you are. Come on now, Groveman,
I mean,
baby.
Yeah, but I'm not like that's like a side thing for me. Something.
It's like a pleasure project.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, maybe one day I'll go on tour playing guitar. That would be weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'd have to have drums with me. I'd have to play some drums at the show, but especially to not get rusty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just like
any plans of like singing on Orange Constant stuff? You know what I mean? Like any background vocals or anything? You know what I mean?
At the moment.
You should, man. That'd be cool. Everybody would sing then, right? Doesn't everybody else sing?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Get a little background vocals in there. Get one of them little mics that swing around in front of you. You know about
that would
how
be.
Those works. Have you ever used one of those?
Mm-mm. I've seen them. I've sat on people's kits and played shows, and I'm like, here's this.
Interesting. I see it. Like I watch like the Police videos, and like Stewart's always like swings out. I think his roadie does it back then, but still pretty cool. Yeah. Do you have any favorite drummers per se? At the moment or overall?
Yeah, I would say right now, I really like Dave Weckl, Tony Royster, Eric Moore, Thomas Pridgeon.
What was that second one you said? Sorry, I want to look into him.
Did I say Tony Royster?
So how do you spell that last name?
Royster.
And
he's a junior too.
Are these guys like all? Do they play with certain bands I should look up? Like I'm not really aware.
Tony Royster plays with. He's played with Jay-Z. He played with Mac Miller before he died. Katy Perry.
It's like a session drummer.
Yeah.
Which is kind of you've done some session work yourself, haven't you?
Uh-huh.
How does that work? Like people reach out to you, say, "Hey, I need some gnarly drums." Pull up.
Yeah, and then they send me a song. And
how do you like that? I bet that's fun for you.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, I like work or session work.
I mean, it's a way to make money with your music. That's like priceless. You know what I mean? That's great.
Yeah.
Very cool. How much does that keep you relatively busy, or does it mainly touring keeps you busy? Between lessons, session work, and the band, how busy do you stay with it?
I would say mainly the busyness comes from the band, and then lessons, and then playing with other people when I'm not playing shows with the band.
Interesting. So you've always got a project working. True or false?
True.
Interesting. I like that. I like people like that. You got to have something, or you go crazy, right?
Especially this year. This year, I've really been grinding and doing a lot more drumming. Mm-hmm. Like for work, I mean,
I've seen you on TikTok. You've been like doing like all crazy rhythms and shit. It seems like you're always working on something. Like it's never the same.
Oh yeah.
I respect the TikTok game, bro. How do you like it?
TikTok? I need to be more into it. I haven't been on it lately. I'm not gonna lie, but
you were on a streak there for a minute. It was like a video a day, wasn't it?
Yeah, video every other day or so.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I like the SpongeBob one. I think was there a SpongeBob one? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my friend Junior Gomez, a good buddy of mine. He's a videographer, and he used to just hit me up, and he'd be like, "Yeah, you need to make a video, dude. Like, you need to start doing this." And then he's like, "Let's do it. Like, let me film you." And then I'd be like, "Yeah, maybe, maybe next month." And then he's like, "Okay, bet, next month." And then next month comes around, he's like, "Yo, so we're doing this video this weekend, right?" And I'm like, yeah. And then so we did like he kind of, it wasn't completely like that, but he was pretty persistent on me doing a video. And then we did one, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, people seem to really like this. And then we did a couple more together. And I don't know. I guess I just, at that point, I was like, okay, film yourself. And it not only does it make you get more people to notice you, but it also makes you a better player, because you film yourself and you're like, oh, I'm doing this right here and I'm doing that.
Yeah.
You notice everything. Just like football players, they watch their videotapes after. Yeah.
That's the best way to learn, man. I like to film all the shows and everything. It's like you just don't notice things until you watch them back. You know
Exactly,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it felt amazing in the moment. You're like, wow, I butchered that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yep.
Which is cool, man. I think the videos look really great. It's cool that you live with a videographer. That's a good help, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or do you still live with him?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. The videos look great. He's like always panning around, and I can tell you, as you started to go and you started to like really take it more seriously, it seemed like you're doing a good job with it. You need to get back on it now. I'm gonna be on your ass. I need some videos.
Dude, I did one last week, and then this week I've been pretty dang busy every day, but I'm gonna get back to it Sunday.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing it.
I just
I'm
gotta
gonna tag a link.
I didn't have a DSLR for a little bit, and I just gotta. My iPhone camera's crap, so I just got a DSLR about 2 weeks ago. So
really stepping the game up.
Yeah, I was borrowing someone's DSLR for a little while, so I was making a lot of videos. So now I've got a new DSLR, and I'm like, all right, let's do this.
So, and it's good like advertising for your whole your session work and whatnot. Do you have a website? Like, are you like actively trying to get session work, or does it do that?
Yes,
just come to you?
I'm planning on building a website, but I'm always actively looking for work. But because I'm working on a brand name, and it's Groveman Drums, just like my songwriter name.
Groveman.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah.
I was at Guitar Center today. I actually told him I'd give him a shout out because I thought it was kind of funny. He was like, is your last name Groveman? And I was like, no. And he was like, dude, well, you need to go by Groveman if you're a drummer, like Sam Groveman. And I was like, yes, but my only problem with Groveman is, and the one thing that is appealing to Groveman is it's not like a great name or anything.
Yes, it is.
But but it's not like, like Groveman sounds cool.
It does sound cool.
The thing about it is that there's not many Grovemans.
Yeah.
So if you type in Groveman, my song is what's gonna pop up.
True.
My drumming is gonna pop up. If you type in Grooveman, it might take a little while.
Yeah, you might have to scroll around a bit.
Exactly. So that was the big appeal to Groveman.
He literally said that you need to go by Groveman, and
Yeah.
your last name is Groveman. He straight up said, "Nah, man, forget your name. You gotta go by this."
Well, I didn't want to go by Groveman for a little bit, and then
Really, it's cool.
Oh, I don't mean like as a person, like as my last name, but like as an artist.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Because I was looking for different names, and then I sent my friend Vicent. I was like, yeah, what do you think about these names? She's like, you should just go by Groveman. I was like, I'll think about it. And then I'm recording with Tommy, and he's like, Groveman it is. And I'm like, Groveman? He's like, yeah, you should go by Groveman. I was like, okay, maybe. Let me think about it a little bit more. And then I'm at work, and I'm talking to my coworker, and she's like, or I'm telling her, I'm like, yeah, I'm still trying to come up with a name. She's like, you should go by Groveman. I was like, all right.
Here's your sign.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just do it.
Perfect,
And then,
man. Worked out nicely. I think it's cool. It's different. I think it's more exciting than like just doing your name, like you're like just Sam Groveman. Like, I'm Jameson Tang. That's boring, But like, you know what I mean? Like Groveman, at least it's different than like your name brand. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a separate entity.
I don't know, man. I like Jameson Tank. I think it's cool.
It's okay.
We never like our own names.
Yeah, true. We're too picky. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Let's see, how are we doing on time? We got a few more minutes. Sweet. How does Big Chungus come to be? I think this is really cool. I saw you guys at the 40 Watt.
It was kind of a combination of John wanting to do it, and because I ran into him at some jams a couple times, and I remember I was practicing a lot of funk, and I was like, I want to get better at playing funk and jazz. And I remember I had this one teacher who was like, best way to get better at it is just play the songs live. And I was like, okay.
True.
So then I told John and Kelly, I was like, we should start a band. Yeah. And I thought it would be really cool if like we dressed up for every show.
And you do, right?
Yeah, we dress up for every show.
They're
like,
always wearing dresses.
Yeah, and I wear some like random outfit put together that my brother used to just send me random outfits.
Yeah.
And like he'd be like, yeah, this is a weird outfit I used to wear at parties. Here you
Add
go.
to cart.
So I just like have a combination of clothes he's given me for that, and it looks pretty wacky.
Interesting. Yeah. That's cool, man. I think Chungus is cool. I look forward to. I was talking to John and Kelly. I was like, man, we need to dust this back off. I want to see a Chungus show, bro.
Yeah, we've been talking about it.
You should, man. It's kind of cool that like it's you guys' side project. So like, and you guys have only released a few like live things. So it's like either you saw it or you didn't. You know what I mean? Like it's like you were there or you missed it, kind of thing. But I look forward to seeing it again. Another thing I want to talk about before you go. As for going on the road, I don't think a lot of people really understand how much work it actually is, you know, like it just seems like, oh, you're not working, you're just playing shows, you know what I mean? Can you kind of explain like maybe the downsides of touring or the upsides or your favorite things, least favorite things, that kind of stuff?
I think my least favorite thing is also something I enjoy about it is just it's not very predictable, like what was going to happen, you know, like it's very hard to schedule your life, you know, when you're touring. Like, you can't be like, okay, I will fall asleep at 1 a.m. and I will wake up at 9 a.m. and at 9:30 I will do this and I will stretch and exercise. It's like all that just flies out the window. Like, you have no idea half the time what time you're going to bed, what time you're going to leave, you know. Sometimes we'll say, let's wake up at this time, we'll leave. But it's just very unpredictable, which I also like about it. It's kind of an adventure in that way.
That's cool.
But it is hard when you're like, you all rely on each other. You're all each other's bosses, but you're also each other's friends. So you have to tell your buddy, hey, what are you doing right here? Like, you know.
Got to buckle down on them.
Exactly.
Interesting. That's cool. I bet you guys have gotten a lot tighter through that experience, though.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys have a van, don't you?
We have a bus.
Oh, that's so sick, man. So sick. Got beds in there?
Yep.
Oh, man, I'm so jealous. That's awesome.
We're about to add a fourth bed, and then we have a hammock, too.
Do you guys get hotels, or you just sleep in there every night?
We don't get hotels that often. We have stayed at hotels, but we try and avoid hotels. I slept on it Friday. I was just so exhausted. And we pulled up to Atlanta, and I was like, well, I'm about 35 minutes from my place. Yeah. But I literally just lay there. I was like, I'm just sleeping in here. I don't care.
Just stayed.
Yeah, I was too tired, man.
Oh, I love it, man.
Slept in my jeans and Converse.
I didn't even take the shoes off, man. Mad respect to that touring life.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Didn't even go 35 minutes home. I respect it.
No.
I respect it. It's hard work, man, isn't it? I haven't actually toured yet, but I imagine like playing 3 shows in 3 days has got to be tough, right? Or whatever you guys are doing, you know?
If you want to, I'm just going to make this even sadder. We were at Tyler's house, and he had a couch in his house. And I was parked on the street, and I was like, I'm not even going to walk into his house. Not even going to
walk inside?
I was like, I'm just going to lay here. Yeah. The bus is pretty comfy, though, man.
Wow, it must be, man.
I was good, yeah.
Psychopath behavior. Couch is right inside. You wouldn't go? You crazy guy, man. Oh, shit. Do you have any closing notes for the people? We've ran out of time almost, but... anything you want to promote? Any links?
Yeah, sure. Check out my band, The Orange Constant.
Please.
Also check out Aspen Ananda.
Oh yes, definitely.
What's
your Instagram handle?
My Instagram is Sam_Groveman. And if you're interested in drum lessons, or you need a drummer for a show or studio work, hit me up. I've got plenty of videos on there for you to check out.
Yes. The TikTok. What's your TikTok handle?
If I had to guess,
Sam Groveman.
Is it Sam? I think it's Sam Groveman Drums.
Is it?
Yeah.
I love it,
I'm
man.
also on Facebook and YouTube, but yeah.
I'm gonna have to give you a follow on there, man. On the YouTube, I'm on there too. I like YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube's fun for drum stuff and like just video wormholes. You know what I mean?
I use YouTube the most out of any website.
I think so too. I think so. I spend the most time on there. It's kind of embarrassing, bro, how deep it can go so quick. You
yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just never ending great videos.
Yeah.
But yes, anyways, dude, thank you for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, it was great. You should come back sometime.
Oh, I'm so down.
I've talked to
Let me
Jeff,
know.
Kelly, and John about doing an episode with you four on there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mentioned it to Jeff. He was like, yes, get Sam in here too. I was like, bet.
Kelly actually told me that last night.
He mentioned it? Really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He was like, I just told him, I was like, dude, that's sick that you're on Jameson's podcast. I'm going to be on there tomorrow. And he's like, yeah, he was talking about me, you, and Jeff being on there.
Yes.
I guess Cherry too.
Yes, I want to make that happen. I feel like that'd be a fun collab because you guys all have a little history. We could talk about Athens and whatnot.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. And music.
I'm so down.
Anyways, thank you for coming on, man. It was an absolute pleasure today. Thank you guys all for listening in. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the podcast. Thanks for streaming us. Check us out on YouTube. Instagram handle is Jameson_OTR. Facebook, Jameson on the Rocks. Subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. Give them a little wave. Thumbnail.
Bye-bye.
Even if you don't